Okay, I finally did it. I've been meaning for the past about year or so to get in on this recent influx of milsurps that have come into the country. It's pretty cool. Seems like RTI and some other people are, selling quite a bit of milsurps. Specifically, I've been looking at some of the Italian Carcanos that have been coming in. Now, I already have a Carcano long rifle here. This is a pretty neat gun with World War I and World War II history behind it. But I've been wanting a carbine, mostly just because I like carbines, and then also because of this. I have a planned video where I'm going to do a controllable carbine showdown. I'm not sure a better name for that, but I did a kick and carbine showdown where I did a bunch of highly recoiling carbines, and then I'm going to kind of do the opposite of that, which is carbines in like 7mm and 6.5. If you can think of a better name than controllable carbine showdown, let me know. That's the best thing I can come up with. So I've watched the Carcanos come in and kind of pop up for sale on the different kind of gun and milsurp related websites, and I've been watching them for a while, and it seems like the price has been kind of going down and down and down on them. I think when they first came up, they were about like $299 and then like $250. Palmetto was the last website that I saw that they were about like $230, something like that, which I've been thinking about doing that for a while, but I came across Axis Arms Online. It's a website that kind of predominantly focuses on milsurps, which is awesome. That's right up my alley. They got a batch of Carcanos in. They got some machetos and some TS carbines. I wanted a TS carbine specifically. I'm not a big fan of like non-detachable bayonets. His Carcanos were only $199 a pop, which I thought was a really good deal. That's like the lowest price. I'm trying to think of a time when I can remember a milsurp only costing like $199, like a sub $200 like actual military surplus gun in good shape. I feel like that's a pretty good deal, and it's something that I think we often take for granted whenever we get these imports that are really cheap, and then you don't buy them, and then just a couple years later they're like doubled in price or whatever. So I don't want to be one of those guys. I wanted to get in, so I bought two of them. I bought two TS carbines from Axis Arms Online. It has a pretty cool promo right now. If you buy $400 worth of guns, which I'm not sure if the two TS carbines is close. I mean, it's only a couple cents, but if you buy $400. You'll get free shipping on any order, so that's what I got on mine. If you use the promo code MilsurpWorld, I don't get any kickbacks from that. I just like supporting other gun sellers, especially milsurp dedicated retailers. So Axis Arms Online is where I got this from. So here they are. It's a nice short box because these are nice short carbines. I have not looked at these yet because I wanted kind of just my first impression on camera. But my FFL, he had to cut it open because he had to look at the guns and record the serial numbers. So it has been opened. I don't know exactly how this is packaged. So if it's not the best packaged, he probably unwrapped it. So let's go ahead and get into this and unbox it. I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with these two. They're pretty dirty overall. I mean, this is just kind of how you expect these when they get imported after being stored somewhere for 80 years. They're just kind of dirty, which I'm probably going to use my magic eraser trick to kind of clean these up. They got a good bit of looks like maybe Cosmoline or some sort of miscellaneous grease applied pretty heavily, which is nice. That's what preserved it, keeping it from being a rust bucket from when it came in. These are both made by Brescia. Very interestingly enough, this one here was made in 1918, so this is made the last year of World War I. This one was made in 1899. Super cool. I mean, it's just almost an antique. It's just so close, but it's really neat. Two TS carbines here that were made 19 years apart. And of course, it's probably one of my least favorite sort of gun laws or gun regulations is that we have to add import marks to firearms brought into the U.S. I mean, especially on these historical, basically antiques like this, that we have to add import marks is really just a shame. But I'll zoom in here and I'll show you sort of the import marks, if this will focus in here. So right here we have the import mark. It looks like PWS Arms, and then they have to add a serial number to these guns because the Carcanos, they're not serialized on the receivers, they're serialized on the barrels, Well, the barrel's not the firearm, it's the receiver, so these had to be serialized. So you can see here it's serialized, starting with CAR on both of these. So that's, for Carcano, obviously. So you just, no real way of getting around this. The numbers that they put on the side of these, they have nothing to do with the serial number on the barrel, which I consider the gun's true serial number. This is just a legal requirement. And here's a look at the stocks on these two guns. Now it's really neat. We have the two different slot placements for the two different TS carbines. I'm the type that likes to collect all the different variations, so it's really neat to me to have the two different variations. We also have some nice cartouches in the wood here. It's really cool. I'm excited to see how these look once I clean the wood up a little bit, especially this one here. This wood's a little bit darker and dirtier, so I think this one will clean up nice, and I'm really excited to get down to this. It's going to be a lot of work, but I think it's really worth it, cleaning up old milsurps like this. And here's an up close of the front bands of both of these guns. Again, this is really cool that there's, this is the two different designs for the TS carbines. This one down here, this is the really interesting, rotate on bayonet. It would go on and then rotate around. And then up top, we just have the traditional, just kind of straight back to stick the bayonet on type of gun. So it's really neat to have, these two different band styles. Again, sling placement setup is different. I just love this type of stuff, and I'm really happy to have both examples. So I'm a big fan of carbines, especially for, for like a combat rifle. I think a carbine is just your best bet. I really like this gun. The TS carbine here, even over the Machado, is just so light and handy. I didn't want that non-detachable bayonet because, it's not a whole lot of weight, but because of leverage, all that weight being out front kind of makes a gun, feel increasingly front heavy. I like the slim trim of the TS. It's just overall, it's just a very light and handy feeling sort of gun. This is really nice. I like the side sling placement of it. I think that's the best way of carrying around a rifle is, on a side sling. Turn down bolt handle is nice to keep that out of the way. 6-shot magazine of 6.5. That's pretty great too. There's a lot of things about the TS carbine, on paper at least, that's just, it seems to really excel at. The sights are obviously a little bit too overcomplicated. The bolt is a little bit undercomplicated. But it's a gun that works, And these two examples, not too bad, like roughness wise. That one's a little stickier than the other. But they're both functional. Like that's the neat thing about these. If you've been thinking about getting one of these, I'd recommend go ahead and pull the trigger. I feel like this is like the new 9130. Like this is the new, cheap milsurp that's getting imported by the plenty. So I'd suggest go ahead and picking one up now, while they're cheap, like we saw with M9130s that were imported and they were, $50 a piece. Like I remember when they were $50 a piece, and they definitely aren't anymore. So all milsurp goes up. They're not making them anymore. So I'd say go ahead and get one. Unfortunately, the in-block clips for these are kind of pricey, and it's nigh impossible to find 6.5 Carcano right now ammo in the current climate and everything. It's going to be very hard to find this ammo, but it's still a nice gun to collect. Maybe if you reload or you just happen to have some 6.5, or if you're okay with just buying it and saving it for the day that you can, ammo becomes available again. I'd really highly recommend it. These guns, don't expect these guns to be clean as a whistle. They're pretty dirty. That's just how they came out of storage, but it's neat. It's part of the rifle's history. I don't mind cleaning them up. It's almost like a little bonding experience or something like that. Cleaning a gun and getting it into, the best shape it's been in 80 years it's kind of a neat experience. And if you're looking at one of these or maybe another type of milsurp, check out Axis Arms online. I think that should be like another one of those, gun websites that you kind of, check off. Like it should be like Axis Arms and Panzerfaust Armory and like Liberty Tree, and you should just have this list of websites that you kind of check out. Axis Arms should definitely be on your list of websites to check out for milsurps. I don't know how long the promo code is good for, but at least right now you can get free shipping on an order of $400 or more, which is nice. It makes these even more affordable to get now. So thanks so much to Axis Arms Online for hooking me up with these. I actually had to pay money for these. I didn't get these for free or anything, just so you guys know. I paid for these with my own money, which I've been wanting to buy one of these for a long time, so I'm really happy with that. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like unboxing videos, let me know. If you don't like them, let me know. Maybe I'll stop doing them. It's whatever you guys think that I should do, I'm going to start doing. So let me know in the comments. I read all the comments. So it's you guys, it's what you want that influences the channel, and it's what I put out. So let me know. Appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you next time.